Your ads are working, but your funnel isn't. This video is all about why service businesses lose 87% of paid leads before a conversation even happens. You're paying around $80 a lead. You're spending $2,000 a month, 25 leads generated, 4 conversations, 2 jobs closed. The other 23 paid to find you, but they left before you responded. It takes about 42 hours for the average response time on an inbound lead. These are industry statistics. By the time someone in your business calls back, more than 3/4 of these prospects have already booked with whoever called them first. And this is according to Harvard Business Review and MIT's lead response study. So, most small businesses take almost 2 full days to get back to the average lead. And you can see how much of a drop off that creates because if you respond to your leads late, these people are going to contact your competitors. On average, it takes about a couple hours for a lead to fully solidify their opinion on a business. And if it takes you over 21 times more, then you have a serious problem. Speed wins, not quality. What $2,000 in ads actually buys you are, let's say, 25 leads, 17 of these are contacted, 4 of them are actual conversations, and 2 jobs closed. So you're spending $2,000 in ad spend, but you're getting 2 jobs out of it at the end of the month. The response is almost always to spend more on ads. We've been talking to potential clients and leads and our own clients as well, and these numbers are realistic. So how do you actually solve this problem? When the campaign under-delivered, you blamed that, the leads were tire kickers, the clicks were bots, the agency that you're working with wasn't sending you the right traffic, your area was saturated. But what you didn't do is you did not look at the website those leads were landing on and asking whether it was doing any of the work. Because, as I'm going to explain further on in this video, the website is one of the most important things in your online funnel. And if you don't get your website correctly built, you're essentially burning money on ads, on traffic, whatever. You're burning leads simply because of a website that does not do its job. So according to Harvard Business Review and MIT in 2011, it was based off 15,000 leads in 2,000 companies. 100 times more likely a lead is to make contact responding within 5 minutes versus 30 minutes. So you have to make sure your speed to lead is as soon as possible. There's a 400% drop in contact rate from 5 to 10 minutes. And it's a 21 time drop in contact rate from 5 to 30 minutes. So the sooner you respond, the higher chance you're able to get the job booked. And with the modern world of AI, you have basically zero excuses for you not to be responding to your leads within minutes. So let's say a prospect fills out your form at 9:02 a.m. So at 9 a.m., they click your ad. 2 minutes later, they fill out your form. 1 minute later, they fill out 2 other forms, and that's how prospects shop now. By 9:06, one of those businesses calls them already. At 9:08, the appointment is booked. But at 3, you see the form, you call, and no answer because they decided to work with someone else. They had ready cash, a real problem, and an active intent. They just wanted someone to answer the phone. But more ad spend will not fix this. The actual lever here is the website. Most service business sites were built 5 to 10 years ago by someone who understood design, but not how a prospect makes a decision in the first 10 seconds on a phone. The site needs to do the conversion work before any human in your business gets involved. Chances are people are looking at your website first before you contact them or even before they contact you. So, first thing is what's above the fold. Second thing is how many ways a prospect can convert. And the third thing, whether the page builds trust before they pick up the phone. When a prospect is discovering you in the first 3 seconds, they're looking for 4 things. Do you serve my area? When can I get an appointment? How do I reach someone right now? And has anyone else trusted you with this? If those 4 answers are not visible in the first 3 seconds on a phone, the prospect hits the back button. And that click costs around $80 and did not produce a form fill. What a converting site actually looks like is one that is not doing anything overly complicated. They have 8 specific things in place. Most of them take a day to implement, and none of them require more ad spend, and all of them are visible on the homepage. So first of all, a headline with an outcome, a homepage video, also known as a VSL, a named guarantee, reviews with full attribution, visible pricing, a 3-step process, the owner's face on the page, and multiple conversion paths. So if you get those 8 things featured on your homepage, you are going to be paying a lot less for each lead and each booked job. I can almost guarantee you that. If your website at this point is missing all of these things and doesn't convert as well as it should, if you fix these, you are instantly going to see a drop in your cost per acquisitions and overall your conversion rate. So let's start with the first element, the headline. Most service business headlines describe the business, but a converting headline describes what the prospect gets. What most sites say is professional plumbing in your area. What keeps them on the page is same-day service, upfront pricing, and licensed since '09. The second one answers the 3 questions the prospect was already asking. A prospect scanning on a phone at 9 in the morning is not reading. They're looking for a reason to call or a reason to leave. Give them the reason in the headline. The second element is the homepage video. A 60-second video converts cold traffic better than any block of copy. Our clients do videos anywhere from 3 minutes to 10 minutes to even 20 minutes. And it's not a brand reel, not a slideshow with music, but it's the owner on camera, what you do, who you do it for, what happens after they book. And by the end of it, the prospect has already met you. The call that follows is not a first impression, it's simply a follow-up. Sites with a homepage video convert at 2 to 3 times the rate of those without. And this is why we tell all of our clients to create a homepage video. This is one of the non-negotiable things that you need on your website if you want to capture cold traffic. The third element is a named guarantee. A vague guarantee reads as a legal disclaimer, but a specific one reads as confidence. Not a we stand behind our work type of guarantee. It has to be a named commitment with a consequence attached. The specificity is what makes it believable. A prospect who sees a real guarantee stops looking for a reason not to book. What specifically is guaranteed? What the prospect receives if it's not delivered, how long they have to claim it, and license and insurance numbers belong on this same section. They answer the same question: can I trust this business with my home, with my money, and overall with my problem? The fourth element are reviews with attribution. A 5-star average means nothing without a name behind it. What most sites show is, let's say, great service, would recommend, and it's just their initials. But what actually builds trust is something like this: she delivered same day, professional, high quality, and I would not hesitate to use her again. Full name, company, city. A quote that describes one specific moment. When 2 businesses have the same star rating, the one with reviews, like the second one, wins the decision. Photos of actual completed work next to those reviews do the same job. It makes it even better, it elevates it. They make the proof visible instead of claimed. In marketing, it's always show instead of tell. If you can show proof as much as possible, go ahead, because that is what actually makes people convert. The fifth element is visible pricing. The prospect who cannot find your price is already on a site that shows theirs. Price opacity does not create intrigue. It creates a reason to leave. The price-conscious prospect will not fill out a contact form to find out your rate when the next result shows it. A starting price filters the wrong leads and keeps the right ones on the page. A starting price, not call for a quote. You need to give named deliverables for that price. You need to have a lower friction option beside it for prospects who are not ready to commit. The sixth element is a 3-step process. Most prospects abandon the CTA because they don't know what they're committing to. They're scared to go to the next step. They don't want a call to action yet. A 3-step section, book, consultation, the work, it tells them exactly what happens after they click. A contact page drop-off falls when this section exists because it answers the question before the prospect thinks to ask it. Step 1, book. They pick a time, no phone call required to get started. Second step, for example, is consultation. You tell them what to prepare. They arrive knowing exactly what to expect. Then third step, the work. There's no surprises because there was a consultation initially. The seventh element is a face behind the business. A prospect evaluating 2 identical businesses picks the one whose owner they've already seen. A photo of the owner, a short bio, a sentence about why they do the work. Placed around the mid-page, not buried in an About tab, it changes how a prospect reads the rest of the site. They stop comparing businesses and start deciding whether they trust a person. That is a simpler decision and it has a faster answer. Credentials on a wall are easier to ignore than a face on a page. The eighth element are multiple paths. A site with one CTA is asking every visitor to be ready at the same level. For high intent, click to call or text. For medium intent, a free consultation for the prospect who wants to talk before committing. And for low intent, a quiz or a self-assessment for the prospect who isn't ready to talk yet. When the site has all three, the prospect picks the path they're ready for, and the single CTA version only captures one of them. The backend is where the math turns green, because the follow-up, the job, the upsell, the referral, the repeat client, the first job often doesn't recoup its acquisition cost. The second, third, and fourth ones do. But the backend cannot run if the front end, the acquisition, never books the first job. So fix the front end and the backend gets to do its work. Skip it and you're paying $80 for clicks that never reach the part of the funnel where the math actually pays you. You're not competing on who picks up first anymore. Once the website handles trust, conversion paths, and above the fold answers, the prospect has already half converted before you call. Response time stops being decisive, and you're competing on who built the better front end. Most of our competitors are running sites that their cousin built in 2017. Obviously, I'm hyperbolizing it, but that's basically the story. Some relative made the site for them 10 years ago, or they paid some expensive web designer who didn't know what conversion was. So most service business sites are losing clients before the phone rings. What we created is a quiz. It takes about 2 minutes, and it checks whether your site answers the 4 questions a prospect needs in the first 3 seconds, and it tells you exactly what's missing. It's trained on our consultations, it's trained on our overall knowledge, and on our course data. And it shows you fully end-to-end how you can optimize your business. So the link is in the description. It's the first link, it's the only link. It takes just a couple minutes. You'll fill it out and you'll get a lot of actionable things out of it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.